was super fun yesterday. So just the fact that this is how we're going to start things off. It's going to be a great time. So everyone, welcome on in. If you're just getting here, congratulations. It's a good time. It's going to be ex-Hellraisers taking on EG here in this best of two. And, two drafts that I have to say I'm very excited to watch. Like you got, like you said, high aggression from both teams. The Bounty Hunter, an ex-Hellraisers classic that we saw yesterday that worked really well for them. Bot lane, smoke into smoke. Who's going to get found, though, is the question. Oh, he's got the dispose. So it does not get in range for the rebounds instead.
It's out him a little bit of an opportunity, but should still be able to swing over. I'm wondering if they actually want to try to force into that high ground. Probably not. Like Lifestealer plus Disruptor doesn't sound like it has a pretty good time there. And look at EG, just rotating immediately onto that mid-ramp area. Again, no one from Hellraisers kind of wanting to go into that level 1. No, not too spicy here, but you never know.
Yeah, that would be pretty scary. Ramses, I mean, if he gets forced to rage level 1, he's in a pretty rough spot. And we'll see. He does obviously start with a magic stick here. Gets the Batrider lane, so we'll just kind of chill with that. Solo and him will go and start stacking up the napalm. Like you said, he did go dispose 1, so Ramsey's body blocked up, and there it is, forced to go rage.
Yeah, that's not going to be a great feeling. Like, you're not going to be able to trade too well. It's going to be a little bit tougher to just sustain through that lane. And again, you just ride through level 1. I guess you're kind of okay. The glimpse is up to harass Matthew a little bit. Doesn't really lead to kill off. And you do equalize at the very least with 2 bounty runes each. But Matthew's still playing tag here.
Yeah, Marcy, will win these trades. She's strong, man. But
you're not worried about anything like the Thunderstrike spam, so Solo doesn't have as much. And Glimpse is annoying, but not as annoying, I think, when you're trying to hit him directly like this.
Yeah. And again, Ramsey's just being forced to pop the rage there. It does not want to risk, letting these napalms stack up. But you can't really blame him. That spell, it ramps really fast. Dude, this Matthew and Solo are just wailing on each other. It's just been non-stop.
It's kind of nutty. Solo's already out of regen, having to ferry out another set of tangos for himself. Hasn't really been spamming out the glimpse, because, again, Matthew hasn't really moved too many units. They were just dancing around in that tree line. And that's giving quite a fair bit of room out to Whisper. I mean, sure, you can just rage off a lot of those stacks, but it still does make you a spell immune creep, it almost feels like, for the Lifestealer in lane. So you're just going to have to play this one a lot more passive for the ex-Hellraisers, guys.
Yeah. Mid lane, we'll talk about this one. It looks pretty even. I mean, this is kind of expected for the most part. You get level 2 dagger now in Kiyotaka, so C-Smile gonna struggle probably a little bit now that this is up. But for the most part, pretty even lane. A lot of harass that's gonna come out from both of these heroes.
And they're both gonna be really happy poking and prodding. It's always kind of funny to see Shadow Strike up against the Spirit Siphon, because you're just trying to heal back from the damage and try to damage the Quap from her heal. It's a weird recursive loop that's always just funny to watch.
Yeah.
Crystallock does go for the Crypt Swarm level 2 instead, so he just wants to not even bother trying to go up to range. Just clear out the creep wave, get his farm. Very even mid, slightly easier for Kiyotaka, but not by too much. And once he has a value point in something like Blink, kill off onto the Quap's going to be a lot harder to see from the DP, so you should just be able to be nice and secure here for Kiyotaka.
Bottom lane, that is 6 stacks almost on the Disruptor, and yeah, Whisper is going to run you down eventually. It's a slow but fiery death.
Burns out. Whisper going to be feeling really good on his Batrider. Again, he forced Ramses to get level 1 rage. He gets a kill for himself. He's pulling the lane really well. He's not having the best CS, but he's also slowing down Ramses by a good amount, so you're doing your job in being highly disruptive in this lane.
Yep.
And, Matthew's just always poking and prodding, which you always like to see. You can't just focus in for Solo to run up this lane, keep spamming out the glimpses, and try to get something done.
More aggression coming out from the side of EG as they put the hurt on the Miro. It is an NP, though, so he will just, be able to teleport back to base, teleport back to lane. So a lot of that, damage doesn't really stick, which is one of the benefits of that Nature's Prophet. But the thing about Batrider, like the way he's played currently, is this hero's he's like, you're like fighting a war of attrition. It's kind of like old Venomancer, where it's you can, unless you can push Batrider to lane, like you're never going to be able to actually out sustain him, because the new build is just double null tally tranquil boots, so he has infinite sustain on this hero.
Dire are scanning.
He just can't be shoved out, and he can sustain all that spell spam, so you can always just look for an opportunity to get aggressive. Matthew's already got the level 3 up as well, and glimpse out just to be annoying. Has not skilled up as to what he wants to do there, and you're starting to hit those level spikes that you want to here on the side of EG to start to really kick into gear. Like level 4 is going to feel pretty scary for them to play up against. I like this potential of sidekick plus Batrider as well, with a sticky napalm bonus damage. That's actually a considerable amount of hurt once you do manage to focus in on someone. So there's always something to worry about here on the bot lane, especially for ex-Hellraisers.
Yeah. Top lane's quite funny. Just Bounty Hunter, again, being a nuisance, stealing that gold out from the Chaos Knight cause, realizing contesting into that creep wave. Ooh, bottom lane, another dive. Yep, they go ahead and get themselves a kill onto Solo. And yeah, just the Disruptor, even though you have Glimpse, you can only glimpse one target, right? And Marcy is no problem, you know, trying to re-engage on you.
Yeah, and you just melt. You really just melt. You can't drag back both the Marcy and the Batrider when they do decide to jump into you. So, you know, these dives coming out from EG, it's not something you can stop, and there's not much the Lifestealer can do to aid you there, as well as Ramses.
Speaking of Lifestealer, gets taken out bottom. Rage just on cooldown. It's only level 1, you know, 21-second cooldown. Matthew might die to that's a Fairy Fire, actually, so he'll be okay. But top lane, they almost got a kill on the Miro, but again, NP, he built fairly tanky. He's got Wraith Band, the extra armor, the infused raindrop as well, so able to tank up some of the damage, just TP back to base and reset. But overall, fairly even in terms of CS, right, across the lanes. It's just the kills that are the advantage for EG right now.
Yeah, you're pretty alright with your farm here on ex-Hellraisers. Again, Ramses, despite pretty back and forth lane, is managing to be a top in that word. They're trying again onto Miero. I mean, the sustain, or at least the armor he's getting out with a Wraith Band, is killing off Bakaz's burst. He gets a good sprout to back off as well, and this is something we see in NPs, right? Up against these bursty physical lanes, like you do just want a little bit of extra armor on hand, and it is paying off big time here for NP. The one thing for ex-Hellraisers now is just kind of trying to hit level 6 on particularly their Bounty Hunter. Once you do start to have at least maybe even level 5, you're kind of okay scouting out and starting to do a lot more damage, getting some counter control with Shuriken, but the levels just aren't pouring out just yet. It is still fairly early on, but that just gives EG a little bit more time to play here.
We're going to see another attempt here at bottom as Matthew was in some trouble. The Rage comes out from Ramses, and he will be able to chase down the Marcy. Well, going to get some help from Kiyotaka instead. And now Whisper gets daggered up, trying to make it to the low ground maybe for a TP out, but it doesn't look like he's going to escape. Kiyotaka with a double kill with that beautiful rotation, putting that arcane rune to good use. So they needed this really badly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's a huge rotation out. I mean, none of the supports were able to leave to help mid. Instead, you get Kiyotaka showing up to the lane. He's going to get a top up as well on the respawn of Solo. He's going to be fully set up, has level 7 up on the flop. Has Sonic Wave ready to go as well.
At mid lane, they're getting aggressive. I mean, Seasmile does have the Exo. It looks like he is going to go ahead and pop it, which is a little bit surprising as the dagger's just slowing him up so much. But wanted to prevent himself from dying, I suppose. You can try and use this to push the wave a little bit. It's going to be really hard to push the tower, though.
Yeah, it's not going to be the most straightforward time for Chris Luck. He doesn't really have backup as well, and the side of ex-Hellraisers is still kind of focusing in on that mid. Matthew and Panda are in the side now, though.
Yeah, they are indeed. Ooh, off the mark there with the Breathe Fire, and just uses the rebound to disengage. They will get the D ward as a result. So, good wards being played out here from Hellraisers in general. I mean, they've managed to get both a glimpse. Bottle DD for the Queen of Pain instead.
Full pick up there for Kiyotaka. And this aggression is starting to line up, although...
Oh, very nice play there onto Solo. Seasmile will just TP on home, it seems. There's no way to... I mean, he maybe could have just Sonic Waved that for damage, but... held it instead. Bottom lane, Whisper up against Ramses. He's going to go for the lasso here, start building up these napalm stacks once again, and Ramses does need to be careful now. He's getting some help from Matthew. The rebound comes in, and they take down the lifestealer.
And
Kiyotaka,
saves the
Blink
day.
almost there. Looking for Matthew.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And the Sonic Wave as well. Just lets it rip the denied. Not in time.
Safe word.
DD, pretty good. Kiyotaka doing some really
Pretty
good
good.
stuff from the mid lane.
At the least, you know, you're not losing out on any core dying with that Sonic Wave commitment. You won't lose your support. You're racking up some kills on Whisper. He's starting to stack up for himself now as well, and you're slowing down Ramses in that lane. Like a solo lifestealer, not able to really sustain true. The threat of Lasso comes out. It's still a level 1 rage, so you don't really have the best cooldown to play around with that spell either. So it's just not the comfiest. So trying onto Antares. Jeez.
Yeah, he does not know exactly where the sentry is, and it is the other way, sir. So he gets picked off. Nice play there from Pakaz. They actually scanned him earlier in the jungle and then ran to his sentry to try and bait the bounty. That was actually such a sick play.
There's no backup on hand to kind of back them up when the commitment does come out from Pakaz. And you are building up quite a considerable kill lead on EG, but not too much in net for it.
No, not at all.
Which I think we've seen a lot yesterday in some of our matches where you get these really good aggression early on, but you're not really stopping the course from farming, and you are still getting that build up on ex-Hellraisers. So Lamiero, not safe.
Yeah, they do finally manage to take him down. Whisper, he's gonna get found in a gank here, and Solo on the disruptor, gonna make this a little bit more difficult to run down. And Whisper does end up trading 1-for-1. The question is, can Kiyotaka get out? He has a blink in 1. The ice path was not gonna connect. Able to get down to the low ground. And see Smile, I mean, he's got an ace route. He could just keep chasing. I don't know if he's gonna make it to the Queen of Pain though. Instead, they will turn their attention on over to Antares. The dust does connect. They get the rebound as well. They do protect their stack, which is good for the Batrider because he does need this.
I can assign you to
I mean, it's not the most painful. You don't really find a big trades you'd want in return, just killing off the supports. But honestly, these support bets are starting to hurt, especially for Antares. Right, we talked about that Bounty Hunter level 6 being a big mark. He does hit level 5 now. I believe he did eat the book. So we're inching towards that. Timing with the track, we've got to see ex-Hellraisers rally around that. Right, they've got to start racking up some of these track kills, start to get the advantage cementally their way, because EG, I mean, their early aggression hasn't led to too much being built up, but the early timings are lining up. Armlet already up in Pakaz. He's going to be able to hit a lot harder. Whisper's just saving up for his BKB. Already has the drums up, so they easily just run you down now whenever the Firefly's up. Chris Smile can also just run you down with his phase boots up and running. Very decently durable enough as Matthew. Pokes.
You're just looking for an opening, right? You don't actually have the silence yet on the Death Prophet, which you would like, but getting to 404, like both these spells are so strong at their level 4, so it does kind of make sense that he would hold off on it. And, you know, now, later as they go, it'll just be that much more scary to play into. You see the runes here as it will spawn bottom, and it's an arcane rune. Panda pinging that out for his boy C Smile, which, I mean, saving this for next EXO would be really nice.
No one's really taken any towers yet. I'm sure EG would want to try to make moves with that EXO. Hold on.
Unleash out from Matthew as Ramses thought he could fight. Turns out you can't. This hero does way too much damage. Huge Wrath of Nature though, and they do manage to finish him off. C-Smile trying to chase after Kiyotaka. Does he have the damage? He does, and now it's the question of Ramses being able to hold his ground. Nice silence comes through, but you're gonna have the Nature's Prophet possibly joining Antares, getting these tracks sent out as well. Whisper will pop the drums. Does he pop the dust is the question. He does, and he's read him like a book. He's managed to find the bounty. Does send him back. Does he burn down? It's so close to 70 HP. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Antares will survive.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, they're still chasing Ramses on the top. He's at the top of the map. C-Smile is looking for the NP. Ends up just popping the Exorcism again. This is going to be with that Arcane Rune, so it's coming back here pretty soon.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not stopping.
Dude, they're actually just non-stop aggression. C-Smile does get the Spirit Siphon, but you're playing into the rest here on the side. You need to manage to grab that Death Prophet, and it's a big win. You trade for the Disruptor. Perfectly happy with that. Ramses pops that Rage, has to try and get away. These track kills, they're stacking up, baby. 2 dead now. About to be a third as Panda's going to fall, but in comes Whisper on the Batrider. He's going to lasso up Kiyotaka. Look for Antares as well. He's underneath Ward Sentry, and with the help of Bakaz, they burn him down. Double kill there for the Batrider. It's an absolute bloodbath in this game right now, dude. We are 15 minutes in. 22 kills.
That's what we wanted to see, you know? We said both teams like to play aggressive here, Ricky, and they deliver. That freaking chase from EG, I did not expect them to keep that up till top. I thought they'd break it off at some point. No, they just wanted to run down Ramses, and it feels like everyone's got Ramses on their block, on their chopping board, don't they? We heard from Quinn yesterday, he had certain words to say. I asked him for some spice, and he dropped a whole bucket load of spice onto my face. And,
Yeah,
well, EG looks like they're dishing some spice out as well. I mean, to dive that far for a life stealer, granted you don't find him, but, you know, you commit. You commit hard.
Yep, absolutely. And Whisper's cleaning up a massive stack of Ancients at the moment, so he's going to be closer and closer to the BKB. And this is the Batrider build nowadays. If anyone is trying to figure out how to play Batrider, double null tallies, tranquil boots, grab drums right into BKB. This is everything that you can ask for. It's really strong.
Dire are scanning.
They're going to get the scan. They do manage to catch Kiyotaka with it, and Antares will break the smoke here as they look to go in aggressive. Oh, Atos off the mark. Does Matthew pop the dust? He's holding up. He has no idea. Ends up dropping the sentry. Antares looks like he's going to be okay. All right. Misconnection.
Probably
there.
not the
Nice
target
go.
you want to gun for anyway. So maybe it's time to just focus in on some objectives, because again, we haven't seen any of these teams even gun for the opposite off-lane tier 1s yet. It's 15 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen like map control stay relatively static for this long. And so we'll finally see the commitment out from EG down bot. Get a little bit of that push going with the EXO. Of course, you've got the Jakir as well with the Liquid Fire. And Siege Creep up and running. Should be able to just find it no problem. Maybe a little bit of trade up top, as Miero has just been shoving in as well on the NT. So tier 1 for a tier 1 trade looks like coming out here. Again, keeping things even. Despite all these kills from EG, the side of ex-Hellraisers are still farming. You're closer to this danger point where Ramses gets this Radiance Rush on the Lifestealer. And, well, this sounds meany, but you could just infest Bounty and run around with Radiance.
Well, the dust comes out. They don't manage to connect, though. And Static Storm does get spent, as well as the Liquid Fire from Penta. They're just trying to whittle down this tower. They did have the Catapult here. It's not going to be enough to finish it off, but with the rotation from C-Smile as well, who does manage to find another Arcane Rune, should be able to grab the mid-tower. So tier 1 will fall in favor of EG, but like you said, Radiance now done on the Lifestealer, man. This is the item against this CK, and I'm sure he just goes Halberd after this.
Just be as annoying to that physical output as much as possible. And the missed chance is also going to hurt Matthew while he tries to dish some damage out on his own. Well, hanging around down bot here.
Smoked up once again. And Taras. He plays a really good bounty hunter. Like, I'm impressed because this has been a hero that like has felt super underwhelming for quite a while now. Whisper gets some glimpse of vision on him, and they're just gonna dive him. They know the Ward Sentry in the lane can scout him out, and they will take him down.
Nice simple pick off again. Not the big kill they'd want, but they're holding ex-Hellraisers back from trying to play with the tracks. Like, we haven't seen that many track kills really pumping through outside of that fight up top, which EG again forced out for a very, very, very long chase. Now you've got a solid lead for EG at 2 to 1k. All their cores now, you know, at least 100 gold above their equivalent cores on the side of ex-Hellraisers. So this is the start of just kind of trying to lock it in. If they can start to shut down the map more from the side of EG, then ex-Hellraisers, they're gonna be pretty hard pressed to try to get their farm up on all of these cores. I feel like we haven't seen the impact of this pop early on. It's one of those things with the Queen of Pain that makes it feel really awkward. Like, it feels like it should be able to nuke heroes down, but once you kind of miss that mark, you reach the 15-minute point of the game, and then it's suddenly just waiting for levels and items. So it kind of plateaus, then jumps back up towards the later part of the game, but it's now we're in that period where it's just a little bit awkward for the pop to try to make plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really curious what
The seeds are full.
like Marcy has like a drums queued up, which seems a little bit weird because you already have the drums and what'll eventually be the boots of bearing on Batrider. Which, speaking of which, he managed to find a disruptor all by himself. He will get glimpsed, trying to finish off the kill. He did already pop that lasso. Miro reveals himself though to try and offer some assistance, and they will find him. Atos as well as a stun from Pakaz ends up being 2. Meanwhile, top lane, a fight of their own. Panda getting ran down here by the Bounty Hunter will drop a defensive Ice Path to try and run away. And honestly, that's one of those changes to Ice Path you kind of forget about. It lasts so much longer on the ground.
Cuts off your access points quite nicely, so gives you a lot more.
Oh, Kiyotaka, very nice. A little snipe there. Taking advantage of that track vision.
Some activity out for the Quap, which again has been a little bit more passive for Kiyotaka. I say that he literally has taken 8 of the 9 kills for ex-Hellraisers. So
That's pretty good.
Not as passive. You know, I mean, in relative terms, he's been pretty damn active for the team. It just feels like EG's been much more aggressive. You know, they have been kind of all in and running down. They do lose that drums you were talking about on Matthew on the Courier. The double drum strat. The heavy metal double bass is not quite there, as just misses Antares.
They know he's in the trees there somewhere, but they don't have a gem quite yet, and like you said, the dust does miss, so he's gonna survive to be annoying another day. This is Matthew's ward, man. Like, I'm not sure if you've ever watched like Matthew play Ricky, but this is what he does. He puts a ward right on the high ground and just punches couriers the whole time. And they know this. Like, this is what EG does. They know it, dude.
Oh, God.
They got him. The BKB gets delivered anyway, and Bounty Hunter is going to get punished. So, very funny. They get the D ward, too. I guarantee you Matthew is pinging this. Like, guys, I know what he's doing. I invented this tech.
Yeah, we saw Antares try that yesterday as well in this game against Gaming, and didn't really snipe hitting couriers, wasn't punished, but EG, they made it. They know how to beat it, and they know how to spot it as Whisper.
Whisper's got a BKB. I don't think he's really all that worried, and they will just go for the Disruptor here instead as they dispose him right back into the hands of this Batrider. So Matthew cleans it up there, popping the Unleash. They still have Lasso, right? They didn't actually have to commit really any too big of cooldowns.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still set
Oh my
to...
god, because has BKB
Dire's
Mage Slayer now.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's massive on CK. He's been left alone for so long. He's at 12k network, good 1.4k above Kiyotaka, a decent amount over Ramses as well.
Top tower has fallen.
And I like this build-up. You're just so much more durable up against that magical burst that ex-Hellraisers is kind of relying on at the moment. You get a little bit of a split push taking out the bot tier 1 here for the side of ex-Hellraisers, but it's not the best part of the map to really invade. They're not stacking and playing in that triangle as much, and they're gone in for the Roshan here, EG.
Yep. They buy the gem, they pop Exo, go straight into Roche. I think this is really smart. There's no reason to kind of delay this. Like, they've kind of taken all the objectives they want to take at the moment, right? No tier 1 towers remain. And I think going tier 2, you're going to want an Aegis.
Dire's bottom
So,
tower
it's
is
smart.
under
I like it a lot.
Sets up nicely. Side of ex-Hellraisers. And they're still getting this build-up, though. Yeah, it's less than 1k lead, 9 to 20, 22 minutes in. Despite all the aggression, ex-Hellraisers are still farming well. Like, Ramses is still up there. Again, not too far behind over to CK. It's still a decent lead on Pakaz, but not enough to feel overwhelming. And the farm distribution is still pretty equal across all the cores here. But you've got that timing to hit. Nero rushing the Ags here as well. And that root and the lower cooldown on the Rat of Nature is going to be massive for them in the middle of these fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my one concern is when ex-Hellraisers are ready to commit, like this Lifestealer comes out, he's going to be massive. He's going to have his Manta style on hand to dispel off, maybe some more annoying spells, at least take care of the silence that I think he's worried about here from C-Smile. So
Yeah.
he's just going to be able to stand up front, maximize the Radiance, pop into Antares or the Quap or Miero on the NP and just burn people down, run them down when they want to.
I mean, they really are trying to aim for Ramses here as the Ice Path comes to the fog. Doesn't manage to connect. Bottom lane, though, we're getting a fight as they do pick off Antares here. There will be a 3 versus 1. Kind of unfair, you know. But nice pickup once again for Whisper. 10 and 2 on his Batrider already, man. He is just having a great time. This looks like he's going to go for the Aether Lens, so potentially the Octarine after that. Just wants that extra cast range.
Yep, can't fault him. Just reach out a little
Dire's
easier for the
middle
lasso.
tower is under attack.
I believe Antares was just trying to buy out his part for the Perseverance. So he walked up into the secret shop, I think popped a couple of mangoes when he was spotted, and just hit, taken down. You know, he's just chilling out, having some mangoes for a break. Can't even just relax
Nothing
here.
wrong with that. Well, they're looking for Ramses. They're going to try and chase after him, but he's super fast. Whisper, get caught by the root. Nicely done there from the Nature's Prophet. That will hold them in on the backside. Panda gets grabbed by Kiyotaka. Huge ultimate here from Solo as well. Forces the BKB out from C-Smile. He's 3 seconds away from the Exorcism. He's going to be able to use it. In comes Bakazer on the CK, and Tars is going to fall. They get the lasso out of the Queen of Pain. Can they bring him down in time? And Infest should be there to save him. But Kiyotaka, he's going to barely survive on just 100 HP. But Bakazer, the Blink forward, will be able to find the finish. And C-Smile trying to hold his ground here against Miro and Solo. And he's just going to chase the Disruptor instead. Turn his attention back to TP out. But now it's just Bakazer versus Ramses. And EG will clean up a 3-for-1. As they only lose the Marcy. I guess he lost Shakiro, never mind. 3 for 2.
Yeah, they only lose their supports. Not the biggest deal here for EG. And again, it's EG just forcing the aggression out after seeing that commitment. Like, you did have a big static storm, but it didn't really catch out the chorus. Bakaz was just well and far away from that fight, having the opportunity to re-engage with a healthy amount of HP. And that was a great reveal from Miero with a Rat of Nature, but again, it felt a little bit more disconnected. Like, it felt like after that, maybe the side of ex-Hellraisers tries to immediately aggress. And if you got Rat of Nature with the root into the Static Storm, that might have been a very different story for EG, but they wait out to use the Static Storm later on. You know, just giving these openings out to EG to play their style, to just keep playing this run-at-you Dota and not get punished. I mean, right now for ex-Hellraisers, I feel like they haven't done enough with this Bounty Hunter from Antares. Like, we're not getting those track kills that we expected them to build up on. We're not getting any infest plays. We're not getting any sort of global ganks going through. No aggression at all. It's just sit back, farm, and if EG comes to us, we'll try to fight.
Yeah, it's very different than what we saw yesterday, right? And I think some of that is just like the draft, right? Gaming Gladiators wanted to play a little bit more of a greedy kind of farming draft into this yesterday. They ended up kind of changing things up, and EG give them the Bounty Hunter knowing like, hey, we'll let you play aggressive, man. This is what we do in SA Street Dota, man. We just run at you. So they're going to look for Ramses here. In comes the Rage right away. Matthew is there. They don't manage to connect with that Static Storm. They will glimpse Whisper, but pops the BKB. Going to be able to continue chasing down this Lifesteal. They even just popped the lasso for good measure, and now Solo on the run here. And Taras, Kiyotaka all coming in though. The wraparound, the nice root onto 3 as Miro's going to TP in as well. Batrider has already popped that BKB. The BKB in response here from Kiyotaka as they look for this Batrider. C-Smile is here trying to save his boy, but he won't be able to. It's a 3-for-1. A great turnaround as C-Smile now looking for the NP. Pops the Exorcism, pops the BKB, just trying to run him down, gets the life drain. Finally is Solo, gets the Force Staff to save him. The Atos is there. Miro's gonna survive.
Oh god, they commit so hard to just kill off Ramses. I still feel like that's worthwhile for EG despite taking some losses. Granted, every kill you're taking now on ex-Hellraisers is on track, but that's still level 1 track. For Antares,
really?
he's stuck at level... Yeah, he's still level 11. Just because of the inactivity coming out from ex-Hellraisers, right? They're sitting back or farming, so this Bounty Hunter is not really able to get as much EXP off of the pickups. He doesn't really clear out waves or camps all too well, so he does rely a lot on just trying to get these kills. So even if you find those 3 kills with track at level 1 track, it's not much allied bonus gold. It's not much self bonus gold either. And just killing Ramses for that, it's still worthwhile for EG. Like, is the big hero that ex-Hellraisers will want to try to keep building up on. There is also this timing for Kiyotaka as well. And we talked about the QoP going into like the later parts of the game. We are starting to approach that time. Like, once you hit level 25 on the talents and say you get your shard up, the QoP can feel really hard to play into. And Kiyotaka is also working towards the Hex. So again, there's still some late timings for ex-Hellraisers to hit. And the game is still even, no matter what.
That's the thing that blows my mind right now, is like, you look at this game and the largest gold lead we've had has been like 2,600 gold. Like, it has been almost dead even the whole time. And like, part of this is just track, right? Because it is EG kind of feeling like they are dominating the map, but track, you know, is inching out. At this point, it's probably made them thousands of gold, right? That they've managed to pocket from these fights, like 14 kills. You know, it adds up for sure. So one of the benefits of this bounty hunter.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It just allows you to even.
Radiant's
It
top
allows you
tower
to pull
is
ahead, and
under
it allows you to stay even when you're not killing as much. Granted, staying even doesn't feel as good for sure. I think that is
Radiant's
something that
middle tower
ex-Hellraisers
is
will
under attack.
kind of have to just deal with. Yarrow.
Oh, they've caught Miro. Yeah, nice ward there. It sets up a nice kill onto the Nature's Prophet, and this is a big kill. We saw in these fights like how instrumental that AoE route has been. I don't want to say AoE, global route. Global route has been.
Yep.
So, pretty good. I also wanted to bring attention to Pakaz's build. So, obviously you have the evasion out from the Lifestealer, but one of the big counters to that is CK is a natural hero that likes to build Bloodthorn. So you have your True Strike now, and without Manta, you actually can just lock him down.
If they manage to catch out Ramses when he does pop and Manta early on, Pakaz can just melt him, and he has been melting him down. And he does have the damage output to just rip through the Lifestealer. You aren't that well
Radiant's middle
protected
tower
here
is
for
under
Ramses. He
attack.
does have a decent amount of armor, and you know he has decent strength as well. But CK with Illusion Top is just pretty overwhelming to try to fight into. Still, a very patient game from ex-Hellraisers, just you know biding their time, just waiting it out, getting that farm up,
Radiant's
hitting these
middle tower
timings.
is under
Even
attack.
Solo is going for the long con here,
Dire's
working
top
onto
tower
his
is under
Ags.
attack.
Yep.
Disruptor Ags is going to be the big one. That new could
Oh, they
really
jump
be
in.
for EG.
Pakaz just BKB. Sonic Wave off the mark there is he's able to just get away. There's going to be the lasso, that bonus rank, the Infest to try and save him. The silence is there. Queen of Pain can't blink out, and Ramses, he's like, man, I don't want to be here either. Trying to run away, and Taurus goes down. They're going to be able to just chase
boy.
him. Silenced up by the Bloodthorn as well. 3 to fall right outside the base. And C-Smile with that Exorcism going to get to work on the high ground. They do have the fort, and they will get a refresh here after the tower falls, but no buybacks. Oh my gosh, he just jumps in because he's going to pay for that one as Miro slaps him down with a BKB, but a buyback in from Solo as well. The drum to try and get them away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, Pakaz, you know, maybe a little bit too spicy there, but we'll see.
Yeah, that takes me back to old Boom Esports when they used to have Dream Install. That's exactly something you'd see from the Indonesian
Radiant's
players
middle tower
in Southeast
has
Asia. A
fallen.
little bit too far forward, but you know what? It's fine. They force out the buyback from Solo. That last fight for ex-Hellraisers just feels like they're not connecting their spells. Again, the Static Storm missing the mark entirely, being maybe a little bit too patient in trying to get that out.
It's time to
Might
get out.
find some punishment. Nah. BKB pop, they bail off. 15 to 31. You are seeing a much more considerable lead. They didn't manage to take the racks here though, Ricky. So
Yep.
ex-Hellraisers, all things considered, they've still got a playable game, although it is starting to get a little bit tougher.
Yeah, they didn't get the racks, but they also didn't force the second fortification, which is a big deal. Because that second fort would allow them to at least potentially like crack a base pretty easily if they ever make that mistake again on Hellraisers. But now they can bide their time with another fort, so we'll at least slow that down for a moment. It is like you said, kind of the first real lead we've seen this game is Hellraisers are going to smoke and just go right into the Roach Pit. They know? Do they know? I mean, they scan now. They definitely have to know. The question is, can they do anything? It's falling so fast. The mid lane looks like they want to try and group up here, but the Wrath of Nature just root them down, and that's it. Roach is dead. Aegis will go to Kiyotaka as they go for an Infestor. Whisper goes in, looks to just jump down Solo as he will just pop the lasso for that for sure commitment there. Disruptor's down. Kiyotaka looking at his heroes. Does have the DD still available, but Antares is gone. Miro just trying to TP on home. He's going to make it. Panda in some trouble. We'll have the Ghost up to buy him a little bit of space. He dodges the Sonic Wave TP, dude. Breaking some ankles on this Jakiro. Whisper not going to be as lucky as Kiyotaka finds that kill. Silenced up here on the Queen of Pain, trying to run. We've got a whole nother fight happening on the bottom as Ramsey is trying to get away from Pakaz. Does he get vision? He needs the Chaos Bolt. He's going to look for Matthew, but he gets him anyway. Dude, these fights are just so scrappy. They are in every different area.
Wait,
Miro.
what? Miro? What's he doing?
Wait a minute. He thought he could help, and, you know,
What?
he helped Pakaz instead.
What? Why was he?
Eat the trees indeed, sir. Oh no, that is an unfortunate mistake there.
Radiant's top tower
I'm
is
just so
under attack.
confused. I'm not sure what he was doing there. I thought he was out. Did he TP in?
Yeah, he TP'd in. I think
What?
he was checking for an obs there or something, and then also thought he could maybe help
Who was
the
there to help?
life stealer. I don't know.
That was. Oh, okay. Maybe he TP'd in. Okay. Maybe he TP'd in earlier. Was just waiting for the cooldown to come off teleportation, but
Yeah.
that's an awkward spot to wait for in. And EG now, I mean, they lost Aegis, but who cares when you take fights like this?
Yeah.
Granted, it is a scary moment now. Kiyotaka, level 20 talents up, not quite 25, no shard, but the sight is up.
Yes.
You do have this instant lock-in, you're integral.
Well, he does have a scythe, that is true. Does manage to stop the Chaos Knight initiation, and they're going to try and get aggressive. You can just cover the BKB. Ice Path Macroplier here will hold down the Queen of Pain, and it's also slowing down the backline. They can't really chase. Kiyotaka does blink aggressively, but Bat Rider, he just gets the lasso. He doesn't care. The Hex onto the Lifestealer instead. He's trying to get out, but the stuns there from Kaz will hold him down, and Kiyotaka will lose his Aegis. As Chris Luck just running down the back line, man, takes down Solo, and Queen of Pain silenced up, forced the BKB here. Pakaz needs to be a little bit careful as Miro's here as well. He's trying to just lifesteal his way through it. It is kind of working. Miro gets pulled in, the Reality Rift.
God.
It pierces the BKB, gets the
No
triple
way.
kill for C-Smile. Dude,
Oh,
what insane fights from EG.
They're crazy, man. But Hellraisers, ex-Hellraisers are pretty crazy too. Like Kiyotaka trying to chase down freaking Panda, running into the Magpie, losing half his HP on his first life. And that provided openings for EG. When the plot was that softened up, the cleanup didn't take too long to get that second life in. And then, you know, by the time the second life is up, everyone's dead. No one's there from ex-Hellraisers to help. They all just get run down. Again, the side of ex-Hellraisers doesn't feel like this lineup is suited to be playing on the defensive, not against this complete aggression from EG. They needed to have been a little bit more aggressive themselves than ex-Hellraisers earlier on, and just some spell use maybe not lining up. We haven't seen the best utilization of the static storms. Again, the Ags is inching up closer, but it feels like you should have been able to get a lot more from ex-Hellraisers, but they just shift playstyles. They go a little bit slower.
Whisper's got lasso. Oh, they just go right in. They isolate.
No, my God.
And they destroy.
No, my bad.
Ramses is gone, man. They thought, like, oh yeah, they're backing for sure. You know, it's just one rack, so let it go. No, man. Not EG. These guys don't give you an inch.
They really don't. And oh, they're just gonna have to clean up the rest of the map now. Take out that tier 2 down bot for the last set of racks to open up. And 17 to 40, a 17k lead finally coming out for EG. Like, they have just been non-stop aggression. They have just been looking for kills every single time as they gun for more.
I mean, they just hit a couple timings and just were like, all right, let's just keep going. Because of the BKB is going to protect them as he just destroys Kiyotaka. This CK level 24 with an AC. Good luck, man. You will not stand your ground. I think I see the GG's coming out as Bounty Hunter disconnects from the game. And that is going to be game one going the way of EG. Well played. A valiant hold from Hellraisers for a while, but eventually start to crumble under the pressure of evil geniuses.
Yeah, they just played too quick on EG. They managed to get all their special heroes out. The DP in the first phase, the Morrissey sliding through, the Bat Rider and the CK coming out there. And they play around that tempo just so damn well on the side of EG. For Hellraisers, and we see the Disruptor, we see that Bounty Hunter.